The great metal city of Vega Station floated in the dark sea of space like a glowing wheel. Its silver rings turned slowly, shining with the light of nearby stars. Inside its walls, thousands of humans and aliens worked side by side. The air smelled of oil, plasma, and cooked food from many worlds. Traders shouted, robots rolled down the halls, and ships came and went every hour. For many, Vega Station was home. For some, it was a chance to begin again. Liam was one of those people. He was a young engineer from Earth who fixed ship engines. He had come to Vega Station 2 years ago after leaving his small hometown behind. He was good with machines, but shy with people. His small workshop was hidden near Dock 7, where damaged freighters came in for repair. He worked long hours and liked to keep to himself. His only friends were a few station workers and a small maintenance drone named Pip that followed him everywhere. That morning, the sound of alarms filled the docking bay. A transport ship had arrived with a broken plasma core, and the whole section was locked down for safety. Liam ran through the smoke and flashing lights. He wore a protective suit and carried his toolkit on his back. Pip buzzed beside him, scanning the area. The air was filled with the smell of burned metal. Sparks flew from the ship's side as engineers shouted orders. Liam climbed under the damaged hull and started working. The plasma lines were unstable. One wrong move could cause an explosion that would destroy half the bay. His hands moved fast but careful. He replaced broken parts, sealed leaks, and tried to keep the pressure steady. Sweat ran down his face under the helmet, but he stayed focused. This was what he did best. Machines did not lie or argue. They only needed skill and patience. As he worked, a voice spoke from behind him. It was calm but firm, with a strange tone he had never heard before. "Human, move away from the conduit. The energy flow is unstable." Liam turned and saw her for the first time. She was tall, her skin pale like moonlight, with faint lines that shimmered across her arms like soft light under glass. Her eyes were silver with a glow that seemed alive. Her hair was dark blue and tied in a simple braid. She wore light armor with symbols he did not recognize. 2 guards stood behind her, their faces hidden by helmets. Liam froze for a moment. He had seen many aliens, but never one like her. He guessed she was from the Zelari, a warrior race known for their pride and silence. They rarely spoke to humans unless it was official business. "I can handle it," Liam said, checking his tools. "If we shut down the main flow now, the pressure will drop," and before he could finish, the plasma gauge screamed. A blue light burst from the pipe. Liam jumped back as the shield cracked. The alien girl moved faster than he could see. She grabbed a power cable and pushed it against the floor, grounding the energy. A wave of light ran through the deck. The ship shook, and for a moment everything went white. When the light faded, she stood beside him, holding the melted cable in her bare hand. Her armor was burned and smoke rose from the floor. Liam blinked, still trying to understand what happened. "You saved the whole bay," he said softly. She turned her glowing eyes toward him. "Your design work was precise. You reacted quickly. Most humans would have fled." Liam laughed nervously. "Running doesn't fix ships." Her lips moved slightly, almost like a smile, but not quite. "You are strange," she said. "Strange, but capable." The other engineers rushed in to check the systems. The danger was over. Liam opened his visor, wiped the sweat from his face, and looked at her again. She was standing only a step away. The faint light from the plasma core made her skin shine. Without thinking, he spoke. "You are gorgeous." The words came out before he could stop them. He had meant to say, "You are brave," or "You are amazing," but his tired brain betrayed him. The moment hung in silence. The guards looked at each other. The alien girl froze. Her silver eyes widened slightly, and a pink glow rose across her cheeks. Liam's heart jumped. He realized what he had said and wanted to disappear. Your work was gorgeous," he stammered, trying to fix it. "The energy move, the light. It looked perfect." But the alien girl did not answer. She just stared at him, her face still glowing softly. It took her a few seconds before she spoke again. Her voice was lower now, almost uncertain. "Say it again, human?" Liam blinked. "What? Say the word again?" He did not understand why she wanted that. The guards shifted uneasily, but no one spoke. The whole bay seemed quiet, except for the hum of the engines. Liam hesitated. "I said you are gorgeous." The glow on her cheeks deepened. She looked away for a moment, then back at him. "I have never heard a human use that word for a Zelar before," she said. "Our people do not speak like that. We are not called beautiful or graceful, only strong." "Well," Liam said, rubbing the back of his neck, "maybe your people should hear it more often." She tilted her head slightly, studying him as if he were a puzzle she could not solve. The guards received a call on their coms and stepped away. She stayed still, her silver eyes fixed on him. "You speak without fear," she said. "That is not common among your kind." Liam smiled. "I'm more afraid of engines than people." It made her almost smile again. "My name is Arya," she said finally. "I am here as part of a diplomatic mission. You have repaired my vessel's power core. You will be rewarded." "No need," Liam said quickly. "Just doing my job." But she looked at him in a way that made him feel like she did not believe him. Humans always say that, but they still expect something in return. "Not this one," Liam said simply. Arya's gaze softened. She looked around the bay, at the humans and aliens working together. "Perhaps that is why your species spread so quickly. You give more than you take." Liam did not know what to say to that. He just nodded. A station officer approached and saluted Arya. "Ambassador, your ship is ready to move to Dock 3. Arya nodded and turned back to Liam. "I will see you again." "Human engineer." Then she walked away with her guards, her braids swinging gently behind her. The sound of her boots on the metal floor faded into the noise of the docking bay. Liam stood there for a long moment, trying to understand what had just happened. Pip the drone floated beside him and beeped softly. "Yeah, I know," Liam said. "I just called an alien diplomat gorgeous." That went well. Pip beeped again, sounding almost like laughter. Later that night, Liam sat in his small room overlooking the shipyard. Through the window, he could see the stars and the faint glow of Arya's ship leaving the dock. He thought about her words, her calm voice, and the way her eyes changed color when she blushed. He wondered if he would ever see her again. He told himself it was just another strange day at Vega Station. Yet something inside him felt different. He had seen hundreds of aliens before, but none like her. There had been something human about the way she reacted. Something fragile beneath her proud surface. Maybe it was his imagination. Maybe not. Either way, Vega Station felt less quiet that night. The stars seemed closer, and for the first time in a long while, Liam did not feel alone in the endless dark of space. The next morning, Vega Station buzzed with its usual chaos. Traders bargained in loud voices, cargo drones zipped across corridors, and humans and aliens mingled in every corner. Yet, amidst the usual noise, a ripple of curiosity spread through the station. News traveled fast when it involved something extraordinary, and today, every whisper carried the story of a human engineer who had made a Zelar girl blush. Liam arrived at his workshop early, carrying his toolbox and wearing his work uniform. Pip, his small, hovering drone, followed closely. The workshop smelled of oil and warm metal. Sparks from unfinished repairs littered the floor. Liam expected a normal day of engine fixes, but the moment he stepped inside, he noticed the subtle glances from other engineers and technicians. "Did you see him?" A young mechanic whispered to another, pointing at Liam. "Yeah," the other replied. "He actually made the Zellery girl blush. That never happens." Liam froze, his hands tightening on the handle of his toolbox. He was used to being unnoticed, but today all eyes seemed to find him. He moved past the murmuring workers, trying to act casual. Pip hovered above his shoulder, scanning the area. The drone emitted a soft beep, almost as if warning him. "Relax, Pip," Liam muttered. "It's just people talking." But it was not just gossip. By mid-morning, messages from the station comes and notices from the local news hub flooded in. Videos taken by other engineers captured the moment he had spoken to Arya, though most of them were blurry and shaky. Still, they showed a human standing near a glowing alien who seemed visibly affected by his words. Liam shook his head. "I just said one thing," he muttered. "One word. And now everyone is acting like I discovered a new star." His colleague, Mara, a cheerful human woman who worked on the same dock, laughed as she leaned against the doorway. "Liam, you have no idea? The Zelari never blush in public. They never show emotion to outsiders. What you did? It's historic. I didn't do anything on purpose," Liam said quickly. I don't even know why I said it," Mara shrugged. "Doesn't matter. You did. That's all people care about." Before Liam could respond, a comms alert rang on his table. He picked up the device. It was a secure message from the Zelari embassy on Vega Station. "Human engineer Liam." The message began, "You were requested at Dock 3 for inspection and a formal recognition of your efforts. Your presence is required within the hour." Liam blinked. He glanced at Pip. "Inspection? Recognition. I just fixed a core. That's all." Pip buzzed softly. Its lights flashed. Liam took a deep breath and started walking to Dock 3. The walk through Vega Station was unlike any he had experienced. Everywhere he turned, eyes followed him. Aliens whispered in languages he did not understand. Some pointed. Even humans looked at him with a mixture of awe and amusement. His heart beat faster, not from fear, but from the strange attention. Dock 3 was larger than any area he had worked in before. Huge freighters loomed above, and cranes moved cargo like dancing giants. In the center, a small platform had been cleared. On it stood Arya, her silver eyes scanning the busy bay. Her armor reflected the morning lights, and her posture was proud. Yet there was a hint of curiosity in her stance. When she saw Liam, she took a step forward. The glow in her eyes softened. For a moment, Liam forgot the noise, the attention, and even the reason he was called here. He only saw her. "You have come," she said. Her voice was calm but carried authority. "Good." "Yes," Liam said, trying to keep his tone even. "I didn't know this was necessary." "It is protocol," Arya said. "But protocol does not fully capture what you did. Many have repaired plasma cores. Few have caused change in a Zelari's behavior. You have done both." Liam blinked. "Change." Arya's eyes shimmered. "You called me, gorgeous. A human word I did not expect. It caused a reaction. I felt curiosity and warmth. This is unusual for my kind." "I didn't mean anything weird," Liam said quickly. "It just came out." Her expression softened, almost imperceptibly. "Intent is not always as important as effect human. You affected me." For a brief moment, the world around Liam faded. The hum of the engines, the shuffle of boots, and the distant shouts of workers seemed distant. All that existed was the silver glow of her eyes and the warmth that he could feel without touching. A Zelari guard stepped forward. "Ambassador, the council awaits your report," he said, his tone firm. Arya turned slightly toward him, but did not leave. She looked back at Liam. "You may accompany me if you wish." "It is not required, but I find it beneficial." Liam hesitated, then nodded. "I'd like that," he said. As they walked toward the council chambers, the station seemed to quiet down around them. Workers paused to watch. Even distant traders slowed their steps. A human walking beside a Zelari warrior was rare. A human who had caused such a reaction was extraordinary. Inside the chambers, a circle of Zelari elders sat in gleaming chairs. Their silver eyes watched Liam intently. Some leaned forward, whispering softly among themselves. "You are Liam, correct?" one elder asked. His voice was low, echoing slightly in the hall. "Yes," Liam said, trying to sound confident. "You repaired the plasma core of our diplomat's ship," the elder said. "Explain your methods." Liam stepped forward. He described the problem, the unstable plasma lines, and the steps he took to stabilize the system. He spoke clearly, carefully, avoiding any mistakes. The elders listened, nodding occasionally, though their faces remained stoic. When he finished, one elder leaned back. Impressive. But that is not why we are most concerned. Liam frowned. Then, why? The reaction you caused, the elder said. Calling a zealotry gorgeous is unprecedented. This response is remarkable. It challenges what we understand about emotion and diplomacy. Liam swallowed. I didn't. I mean, it was just a word. Arya stepped forward. It is more than a word. It is recognition, admiration, and trust. He sees what many do not. That is why I wish him acknowledged, not for repair skills alone, but for his ability to see beyond tradition. The elders remained silent for a moment. Then, slowly, one nodded. This human has made a mark. Not by force, not by technology, but by heart. He is acknowledged. A quiet murmur ran through the chamber. Liam felt heat rise to his face. Recognition from Zellar elders was rare. Recognition for a human by a zealotry warrior was extraordinary. After the council meeting, Liam and Arya walked through the docking bay again. The glow from the plasma cores made the floor shimmer. Liam tried to process what had happened. Do you often attend to such matters personally? He asked. Arya shook her head.
Ellie.
But you are not ordinary human. I wish to understand your nature before reporting to my people. Liam smiled nervously. Well, I hope it wasn't a mistake. Arya's lips curved slightly. Perhaps for you it was a mistake. For me, it was revelation. They paused near a repair bay where a young alien mechanic watched them curiously. Liam realized he had become part of something larger. His small act, a single word, had rippled across cultures, affecting beings far stronger and prouder than himself. Pip buzzed beside him. Liam looked at the drone. I think you should know, he said. This might be the start of something. Complicated. Arya turned her eyes on him, calm and certain. Complicated is not always negative, human. It can be the path to understanding and change. For the rest of the day, Liam returned to his workshop, but the station felt different. Every corner seemed alive with whispers of the unusual event. Some workers came to ask questions. Others merely watched, curious and cautious. Liam fixed ships and engines, but he felt the pull of something larger, a connection that reached beyond bolts, plasma, or metal. As night fell over Vega Station, the glowing lights of the city reflected on Liam's small window. He thought of Arya and the warmth of her words. He thought of her blushing eyes, the unspoken trust, and the way she had challenged his world without trying. Somewhere far above, her ship glimmered against the stars. And Liam realized he was not the same human who had arrived at Vega Station 2 years ago. A small word, spoken in haste, had changed not only one Zelari girl, but also himself. The morning sun reflected off the vast metallic walls of Vega Station, casting golden streaks across the corridors. Inside Dock 7, Liam adjusted his toolkit and checked the status of a freighter's energy lines. Sparks danced lightly from a broken power conduit. He sighed. Work never stopped, and neither did the station. As he was tightening a stabilizer, a soft shadow fell across his workspace. He looked up and froze. Arya stood at the entrance of the dock, her silver eyes catching the morning light. She did not speak at first, merely observing him, the way she always seemed to do. Good morning, human engineer, she said finally. Her voice carried a calm authority that made everyone in the vicinity pause for a moment. Morning, Liam replied, adjusting his visor nervously. What brings you here so early? I wished to learn, Arya said. About humans, about your ways, and about you. Liam blinked. Me. Yes, she said simply. Your actions yesterday were unusual. They piqued my curiosity. Pip buzzed around them, scanning for power fluctuations. Liam smiled faintly. Well, I don't know how interesting I am, but I suppose we can talk. Arya stepped closer. Her movement was graceful, yet precise, almost like she was analyzing every step. I will observe first. Words can be misleading. Actions reveal truth. Liam nodded and returned to his work, though he felt the weight of her gaze. Something about the way she watched him made him conscious of every motion. He tightened a bolt too slowly, then too quickly, as if trying to impress her by accident. Pip hovered silently, its tiny lights blinking. Hours passed. Liam repaired engine cores, calibrated plasma conduits, and replaced damaged circuitry. Arya moved beside him, sometimes pointing out a potential hazard or suggesting a method he had not considered. She did not touch the machines. Yet her presence changed the rhythm of the work. "Humans are resilient," she said at one point, leaning slightly to observe a complex conduit. "You work under stress without panic. That is rare in my experience." Liam wiped sweat from his forehead. "I guess we have to be. Space does not wait for anyone, and neither do engines." Arya tilted her head. "Yet you do not seem afraid, even when others panic." "I'm afraid all the time," Liam admitted with a small laugh. "I just hide it." Her silver eyes softened. "Perhaps that is why you are different. You do not need to show fear to prove courage. You act regardless." Liam paused, feeling a warmth he could not explain. Her words were strange but comforting. "I never thought anyone would notice something like that." "You are more than your work," Arya said. "Humans often underestimate themselves." "I see your strength." Liam's heart beat faster, not from fear but from something else. He looked at her and saw the faint glow on her cheeks, a blush he had seen once before. He remembered the first time he had called her gorgeous. The memory made his words stumble. "You mean that?" he asked softly. Arya's eyes held his. "I mean that your actions and presence matter. That is unusual for a human and rare for a Zellery to admit." The dock fell quiet as a freighter shifted above, its engine thrumming. Other workers continued their tasks, but Liam felt as if the world had narrowed to the space between him and her. Pip hovered beside him, its lights dimming in curiosity. Over the next few days, Arya began visiting regularly. Sometimes she observed silently. Other times she asked questions about humans, their culture, and even their feelings. Liam taught her simple things: laughter, music, and the joy of small successes. They would sit near the engine core when a job was done, watching sparks fall and talking quietly. "Why do humans smile when things go wrong?" Arya asked one day, her silver eyes curious. Liam laughed. "We smile to cope, to show we can handle it. It is not always serious, just hope." Arya considered this. "Hope is foreign to my kind. We rely on strength, not emotions. Yet, you survive." "Humans survive in strange ways," Liam said. "Sometimes our hearts are stronger than our bodies." Her gaze softened again, and for a moment, Liam thought she might smile fully. Pip buzzed as if in agreement. One evening, as Vega Station glowed with the reflected light of distant stars, Liam and Arya worked on a damaged scout ship. The hull was cracked, and the energy lines flickered dangerously. Liam explained his method while Arya assisted, passing tools and holding cables. "You have precision," she said quietly. "I have seen many engineers, but your approach is patient." "It comes from fixing things alone for a long time," Liam said. "You learn to trust your hands when no one else is around." Arya paused, her silver eyes studying him. "Loneliness teaches lessons humans often overlook." "I understand that feeling," Liam swallowed. No one had ever said that to him. Not like that. Not with understanding. He felt a strange connection forming. One that went beyond language or species. Days turned into weeks, and the unusual friendship became stronger. Liam learned about Zellery culture, their traditions, and the quiet pride that governed their lives. Arya began to smile more openly, though still subtly. She shared small details about her home world, the forests with silver trees and rivers that glowed at night. Liam listened, fascinated, and sometimes shared stories of Earth, its oceans, mountains, and stars. One afternoon, a group of young Zellery diplomats visited Vega Station. They noticed Arya with Liam and whispered among themselves. One of them approached, his eyes narrowing. "Arya, why do you spend time with a human?" he asked. She looked at him calmly. "I spend time with someone who challenges what I know. Someone who shows me a new perspective. The diplomat frowned. Humans are weak. They cannot understand Zalari's strength or honor. Arya's silver eyes gleamed with quiet intensity. Humans understand courage, curiosity, and heart. Strength is not always physical. You will learn this if you observe. Liam felt a surge of pride. He had not sought recognition, yet here he was, standing beside a Zelari warrior who defended his worth against her own people. Pip buzzed happily beside him. Over time, their bond drew attention not only from Zalari, but also from humans. Workers at Vega Station began watching the two with curiosity and respect. Liam was no longer just a quiet engineer. He had become a symbol of humanity's ability to bridge worlds, to affect hearts in ways that technology alone could not. One quiet evening, as they worked on a damaged freighter, Liam paused. "Arya," he said softly, "do you trust humans?" Her eyes met his, steady and bright. "Some humans," she said. "You are one of them." Her words made him smile. "And I thought I was just lucky calling you gorgeous." She tilted her head, a faint blush spreading across her cheeks. "Perhaps it was more than luck," she said. "Perhaps it was a glimpse into something unexpected." Freighter lights reflected in her eyes, making them shine brighter than the stars outside. Liam felt a warmth he had never experienced before. For the first time, he realized that friendship, respect, and understanding could cross not only worlds but species. That night, Vega Station seemed quieter, yet alive with possibility. Liam returned to his small room, Pip floating beside him, and looked out at the stars. Somewhere far above, Arya's ship glimmered in the docking bay, waiting for the next adventure. He thought about how a single word had changed everything. A word spoken by accident had grown into curiosity, understanding, and trust. And perhaps he realized it could grow into something even more remarkable. For the first time, Liam felt that being human in a universe of countless stars was not a limitation. It was a gift. His heart, his actions, and even his words could make a difference. Not through weapons, not through power, but through courage and kindness. Arya's presence reminded him of this every day. The Zelari warrior was no longer a distant figure of strength. She was a teacher, a friend, and a spark that lit a new path in his life. And so, as Vega Station continued its endless hum of activity, Liam and Arya worked side by side. Each day brought new challenges, new discoveries, and small moments of laughter and learning. In a universe full of danger, politics, and uncertainty, a human and a Zelari had found something extraordinary. A bond formed not by blood or battle, but by the courage to see beyond appearances, to speak honestly, and to embrace the unexpected. And in that bond, humanity had once again shown its power to change the galaxy. The morning sun rose over Zyra, painting the sky with streaks of violet and gold. Liam stood on a high hill, looking down at Mira's village nestled among the shimmering crystal trees. The peaceful sounds of chirping alien birds and rustling leaves were at odds with the danger approaching. Far on the horizon, dark shadows moved across the landscape. The Kraven were coming. Liam turned to Mira. Her glowing eyes reflected both fear and determination. "We need a plan," he said firmly. "We cannot let them destroy your village." She had always trusted humans' cleverness, but this was different. The Kraven were stronger and faster than anything Liam had seen. They moved in packs and attacked without warning. "We can fight together," she said softly, her voice steady. Liam smiled. "That's exactly what I was thinking." He walked through the village, talking to the elders. He explained his idea. Humans and Xerians would combine their strengths. Humans had tools and strategies, while Xerians had agility, knowledge of the terrain, and natural stealth. Together, they could outsmart the Kraven. The elders were skeptical at first. Humans were fragile, and the Kraven were fierce hunters. But Liam's confidence was contagious. Mira stood beside him, nodding. "He is brave," she whispered to an elder, "and smart." The first task was to set up traps. Liam and a few other humans worked with the Xerians to dig pits covered with strong branches. They set nets in narrow paths and crafted simple alarms that would alert them if the Kraven approached. The Xerians used their natural skills to move silently, testing the traps and adjusting them. Mira guided Liam through the forest. "This path is safe," she said. "The Kraven rarely come here. But if we lure them—" Her hands made gestures, showing how they could lead the Kraven into traps. Liam watched her move. She was graceful and quick, her every motion precise. He felt a surge of admiration. He opened his mouth to compliment her, but stopped, remembering the last time he called her gorgeous. Mira had smiled, her cheeks glowing. He smiled to himself, feeling both nervous and happy. The afternoon passed with planning and preparation. Every villager, human and Xerian, had a role. Liam coordinated the defenses. Mira trained the young Xerians to move quickly and quietly, and the elders kept watch. The bond between the humans and Xerians grew stronger with every shared task. As the sun began to set, the first signs of the Kraven appeared. Dark shapes moved through the forest, their claws scraping the rocks and soil. A low growl echoed in the air, sending shivers down the spines of everyone present. "Remember the plan," Liam whispered to Mira. "Stay calm. Trust your instincts." Mira nodded. Her heart pounded, but she felt a strange sense of confidence. She'd always believed in the strength of her people. But now she could see how humans' ideas could make them even stronger. The Kraven reached the first trap. One of the young Xerians had set it with care, hiding the pit under a layer of leaves. The Kraven stepped forward and the trap worked perfectly. One of the creatures fell into the pit, struggling to climb out. The others stopped, surprised by the sudden loss of their companion. Liam signaled to Mira, and the humans and Xerians began their coordinated attack. Using their knowledge of the terrain, they moved quickly and quietly, leading the Kraven into nets and traps. Liam's ingenuity was clear. The humans' tools, combined with the Xerians' natural abilities, created a defense that the Kraven could not anticipate. During the battle, one Kraven broke free and charged at Liam. He barely had time to duck, and the creature's claws scratched the ground where he had stood. Mira acted instantly. She jumped in front of him, using her agility to knock the Kraven off balance. Liam watched her with wide eyes. She was brave, strong, and clever. When the Kraven retreated, Mira turned to Liam. Her cheeks glowed brighter than ever, and she said softly, "Say it again, human." Liam felt his face warm. He laughed and said, "You were amazing." Mira's smile was brief but bright, her eyes sparkling. Liam realized that admiration could cross worlds. Even in the middle of battle, respect and courage mattered. The fight continued through the night. Liam and Mira worked side by side, moving from trap to trap, directing the villagers, and keeping the Krav off balance. Each time the Kraven tried to attack directly, they were met with clever defenses. Every human idea was improved by Xerian intuition. Every Xerian skill was enhanced by human planning. By midnight, the Kraven began to retreat. They had underestimated the strength of cooperation. Liam and Mira stood on a hill, watching the last of the creatures vanish into the darkness. The village was safe. Mira turned to Liam. "You have shown our people something new," she said. "Humans are clever, brave, and I am glad you are here." Liam smiled. "And you showed me the strength of your people. You are fearless, smart, and, well, still gorgeous." Mira's cheeks glowed a deep shade of violet, and she laughed softly. "Say it again," she whispered. Liam repeated the words, and this time, Mira's smile lingered. It was a moment of peace after the chaos of battle. Even in a world full of danger, trust, courage, and friendship could shine brighter than fear. The villagers gathered to celebrate. Fires were lit, and songs filled the air. Liam felt a sense of pride, not just for himself, but for all humans. They had used their minds, their ideas, and their courage to help another species. It was a moment that proved humanity could matter anywhere in the universe. Mira stayed by Liam's side, guiding him through the celebrations. She showed him traditional dances and gestures, and he tried to copy them, laughing when he failed. The bond between them grew stronger with every shared smile and every story told. As the night ended, Liam looked at Mira. "We make a good team," he said. She nodded, her glowing eyes reflecting the firelight. "Yes, human. Together, we are strong." Liam realized that this was what humanity was meant for, not just survival, but connection. The courage to face danger, the intelligence to solve problems, and the heart to care for others were qualities that could change worlds. Mira blushed again when he complimented her bravery. Liam smiled, feeling proud and happy. He knew that tomorrow would bring new challenges, but for now, they had one. And in that victory, human ingenuity had truly shone. The first rays of Zyra's sun lit the sky with soft pink and golden colors. The village was quiet after the battle, but the air was filled with a sense of hope. Liam walked among the villagers, both human and Xerian, helping wherever he could. Small repairs were needed, food had to be shared, and stories were exchanged. The night's victory had brought relief, but also lessons that would not be forgotten. Mira approached Liam, her glowing eyes warm with emotion. "You helped my people more than anyone could imagine," she said. "You showed us the power of thinking differently and working together." Liam shook his head, smiling humbly. "We did it together. Humans alone could not have done this. Your people's courage made the difference." Myra's cheeks glowed with a soft violet hue. She looked away for a moment and then back at him, playful and shy. "Say it again? Human." Liam chuckled. He leaned slightly forward and said, "You were amazing, Mira. Braver than anyone I know." Her smile lingered longer this time, and she nudged him gently. "You humans are strange, but I like it." After the greetings and repairs, Liam turned his attention to the elders. They had invited him to share ideas about the future. "Humans and Xerians can work together," Liam said. "We can learn from each other, protect this planet, and build something stronger than before." The elders listened carefully. Some were cautious, but many saw the wisdom in his words. Mira translated some of Liam's suggestions to the younger Xerians, who nodded eagerly. Liam felt proud. This was not just a victory against the Kravnit, it was a chance to build lasting friendship. Days passed. Humans helped teach new strategies for protection, sharing knowledge about simple tools, communications, and problem-solving. The Xerians showed humans their ways of moving silently, understanding nature, and observing subtle changes in the environment. Every day brought small achievements, and the bond between the two species deepened. One afternoon, Liam and Mira climbed a hill overlooking the village. The sky was painted with colors that humans had never seen on Earth. Birds with feathers that shimmered in every shade danced above the crystal trees. "This planet is beautiful," Liam said. "And your people make it even more special. You think humans are only clever? But your heart is strong too. That is why we trust you." They walked in silence for a moment, enjoying the peacefulness. Then Myra turned to him, eyes sparkling. "Will you stay human? Or will you go back to your world?" Liam looked down, conflicted. "I have to return to Earth eventually, but I promise I will come back. We have built something important here. I cannot abandon it." Mira nodded, understanding but still sad. "Then you must come back quickly. Zira is brighter with you here." The next few days were spent preparing for Liam's departure. Villagers gathered to say goodbye. There were gifts exchanged, stories shared, and laughter that echoed through the crystal forests. Mira stayed by Liam's side, guiding him, laughing at his awkward attempts to speak Xerian, and teasing him when he mispronounced words. On the day of his departure, the village gathered at the edge of the forest. Spaceships were ready, and Liam's gear was packed. He felt a mixture of sadness and pride. The humans had helped, but more importantly, they had shown that courage, intelligence, and kindness could bridge worlds. Mira approached him, her glowing eyes shining. "Before you go," she said softly, "say it one last time." Liam laughed, feeling his heart warm. "Say what?" "You know," she said, her cheeks glowing. "What you said the first day? About me." Liam smiled. "You are amazing, Mira. Braver, stronger, and more remarkable than anyone I have met." Mira's blush deepened, and she laughed lightly. Again, she said. I will never get tired of saying it, Liam said. You are amazing, Mira. Gorgeous and strong. Brave and clever. You make your world better, and mine too. Myra's eyes shone with happiness. She reached out and touched his hand gently. Then go, human. But return soon. Zyra needs your heart, your mind, and your courage. I will. I promise. As the spaceship lifted off, Liam looked down at the village. Fire still burned where celebrations had taken place. Children waved, humans and Xerians worked together, and Mira stood at the edge, glowing softly, watching him rise into the sky. Inside the ship, Liam reflected on what had happened. The humans had shown their cleverness, but more importantly, they had shown compassion, teamwork, and courage. Even on a distant planet, humanity mattered. He felt proud to be human, proud of the way they had helped Zyra, and proud of the friendship he had found. Back in the village, Mira watched the spaceship fade into the distance. She turned to the elders and the villagers. Humans are different, she said. They are clever, brave, and kind, and I know we will see them again. Weeks passed. Liam returned to Earth, but Zyra never left his thoughts. He shared stories of Mira, her people, and the beauty of the planet with scientists and explorers. His mission reports inspired new research and cooperation programs, proving that even in a universe full of danger, humanity's courage and intelligence could make a difference. Meanwhile, on Zira, Mira trained the young Xerians in the strategies Liam had taught them. She often repeated his words about courage, teamwork, and ingenuity. She remembered his compliments, his smiles, and the friendship they had built. The planet was safer now, but it was also brighter with the hope of future visits. One day, as the sun set over the crystal forests, Mira looked at the horizon and whispered, "Come back soon, human. I want to hear it again." And far across space, Liam looked up at the stars, feeling the same warmth. "I will, Mira," he said. "I promise." The story of humans and Xerians became one of friendship, courage, and mutual respect. It was proof that even in the vast universe, one species' heart and intelligence could matter. Humanity had shone brightly on Zyra, leaving a mark of hope, strength, and admiration that would last for generations, and so, a human and an alien girl shared a bond that went beyond worlds, proving that kindness, courage, and respect were universal values. The memory of their adventure, their laughter, and their compliments would guide both humans and Xerians into a future filled with friendship and new possibilities. The galaxy had witnessed the power of human ingenuity and heart. And for Liam and Mira, it was only the beginning of many adventures to come.